Hello.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color, and I am such a huge fan of you and your work. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really nice of you to say. Of course.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh. And huge congrats on the film. I absolutely cannot wait to see it.
Thank you.
By the way, the trailer looks amazing, and I'm so excited.
Thank you. Hope it's good. I haven't even
Oh,
seen it yet.
please. No. Oh my gosh. So you must be as excited as the fans are.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's fun. That's fun. I want to start off by asking you, was there something originally that attracted you to the project?
Um, the chance to do all of that stunt work,
Yeah.
it just seemed like something different and a challenge
Yeah.
that I wanted to partake in.
Yeah.
It was fun and exhilarating. Yeah.
What was that stunt work like for you jumping into that? Did you get to do most of your own stunts? How was that process like for you to take on those scenes? Because it looks crazy. It looks very cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like there was a lot of like crossing my fingers and just praying that I survived. uh, yeah, I mean, I didn't really know because obviously, I mean, you're not going to be doing stunts like what we do in the movie in your everyday. So none of those things I had ever done before, nor did I know or think I was capable of it. And granted, they had safety precautions and things that wouldn't be there if it was real life, but it's still scary nonetheless. And I really got to see sort of like how far I can jump, if that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that would be the most exciting part for me to see in the movie is if I worked so hard on those stunts to see the final like product of it.
How it's put together, yeah,
Oh my gosh.
because
Yeah.
it makes me look way better than I actually am.
Listen, you did it. That's an accomplishment in itself. Like oh my gosh, I can only imagine the amount of like preparation and challenges that went into
Yeah,
seeing.
it's sort of like skydiving, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. I've never skydived before, but I feel like it is very like there's adrenaline, so much adrenaline, and then you're just like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, let's go.
And then you do it, and it's like, whoa.
And you're like, whoa, wow, I did that. Oh my God.
I love that. Oh my
That
God.
was stupid.
Listen, I'm ready for it. The stunts in the trailer alone look incredible. I can't even imagine what's actually in the film.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I
Yeah.
don't know. Who knows? I don't even know what made it to the film.
It will be. I have the utmost confidence. The cast is amazing. I immediately
Yeah.
texted my editor and was like, I need to cover this film because not only does it have you, it has Tom, it has Tati. I was like, oh my gosh, you're just throwing all my favorites into one film. It's amazing. So what was it like being on that set and finding the dynamics between all of your characters with the cast?
Oh, it's so great. I mean, Tom and Tati and I are all still really, really close. Mark, he was amazing to work with as well and watch, and like so cool to have that as an example. But yeah, no, I got to really like bond with them. We're all the same age.
Yeah.
And, it was dealing with similar experiences because of the movie. So yeah, we bonded pretty nicely.
I love that.
It was nice.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I am a fan of your work and I have seen you do so many different genres from like Grey's Anatomy to Truth or Dare, which, by the way, one of my favorite movies, by the way. I loved
No way.
Oh, I love it. I love Truth or Dare. And The Wilds, which, oh my gosh, congrats on season 2, by the way. I cannot wait to see
Thank
it.
you.
And hopefully speak to you about it because I'm so hyped about it. And then Uncharted, which is an action adventure. So do you have a personal favorite that you've gotten to do or one that you have not gotten to do and want to do?
Not at all. I do really want to do like that challenging character, the one that's like very different from who I am in any aspect. Maybe she's just like, a mom or she's like mentally ill. Like, I don't know, but just something to challenge in that way where I'd have to change all of my persona. that would be cool. But as far as my favorite, I don't really have a favorite. They all have different challenges. And it's all very different experience wise, you know. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a fun job adapting and stuff.
You have to be in a different mindset for everything too. I can only imagine for each one you have
Yeah.
to prep yourself in a different way almost.
Yeah, definitely. There's a different style because when I think about Grey's Anatomy versus The Wilds, you know, both TV shows, but the style of acting is so different, you know, the way that I would prepare my lines versus, you know, on Grey's Anatomy, you sort of know the tone, but then on The Wilds, I feel like we had more leeway to explore.
Yeah, definitely. And I also feel like you always do a great job bringing these complex female characters to life. I don't know if you see it online, but people love your characters, like especially in The Wilds. They absolutely love you. Do you have a character that you've maybe learned something from that you kind of take in your everyday life?
Oh, yes. Batten, for sure, on The Wilds. I'm a tomboy, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that I subconsciously just maybe judged or I don't want to say judge because I wasn't very judgmental. It's more just like that's not me, you know.
It's kind of part of life too. I feel it too. Like you almost not judge,
Yeah.
but you almost try to figure out everyone else's story and be like, oh, they have this, but
Yeah. I mean, I guess in my mind, I sort of like I categorize things as like,
yes,
what can they handle? What can they versus like what can they not, you know? And so I kind of would interpret the girly girl as like somewhat weak, you know, and fragile. Maybe like, you know, egotistically or like with their insecurities or whatever. I don't know. I thought that it was like a subsidizing thing. I didn't realize that you could be like, I'm going to get my nails done and I'm going to get my eyelashes done and I'm going to get, you know, this stuff done. And it's for me and no one else. I'm not doing it because, you know, the world is telling me to, that's how I look better, you know, like it's because this is what I want. This is how I feel beautiful. And that is empowering. And Batten really did.
Yeah.
Her just like unashamed, you know, because I was never like a sex shamer or like a slut shamer, you know, like I never was like that. So that's what I thought she was. And then to see how her embrace her femininity, it was really cool. It helped me a lot embrace mine, you know, and find it empowering.
I love that.
And celebrate it in others.
Yes. I have to say, it's funny because when I was growing up, the only like female-led show I watched was Pretty Little Liars. And now we have The Wilds. And I was like, first of all, I'm so glad that like, you know, my younger female cousin has that and has the female-led show. But like even me and my friends bonding over it. It's such an amazing thing to have an all female-led show. Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool. It's cool to be on one.
Yeah.
For sure. I want to keep my career as female centric as possible.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for that. I always love it. And your character in this, I know you can't give too much away, but what can you sort of tell me about her? Was there something that really stood out to you about her? Was there something you were excited to play with?
Well, she's Australian.
Yeah. Yep.
That was something that really stood out and I was excited to play with, you know, never done accent before. I spent a lot of time in Australia and New Zealand filming The Wilds. You know, so I was exposed to it and I was like, yeah, let's test this out. Let's test this baby out. And she's also a badass.
Yes.
Yes. Which is cool. Different from anyone that I've ever played, you know, she doesn't really seem to have like any weaknesses. She's very independent and doesn't need help from anyone, which I love about her, you know, like I kind of get wrapped up in like showing the layers and like why did they come to this, and with Chloe it was like, no, I mean she doesn't have to, she knows herself.
Yeah,
there doesn't have to be like an internal conflict with, you know, all of this stuff that I'm like trying to give her. Like, you know, she's just confident and she doesn't give a fuck, and it's it's great. Yeah, that was something that I was really excited to interpret.
It's always nice to see those sort of characters, especially in the action genre.
Especially with a woman
Yeah, I
in an
know
action drama,
exactly.
you know, like you will find when you watch the movie that Nate's a lot more vulnerable than Chloe is, you know.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's refreshing in itself.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Oh my gosh, we need more like that. So please keep going in the action genre.
Yeah. Happily.
And obviously, this film is based on a video game, so you have that fan base sort of woven in there. Did you do any preparation or research with that, or did you want to go in?
I played the games,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
which was a cool insight into Chloe. And you know, she has her own game as well. So I played her game,
Yeah.
and she narrates it and stuff. So yeah, you really got to know her. It was kind of intimidating though, not gonna lie. Like it definitely helped, but then it started to not help. Like I was like, this girl is like really badass. Like she's far more capable than I am at anything. And so yeah, it got kind of intimidating. Like I'm an actor at the end of the day, but like I'm still, you know, held back by my own limits and just want to be limitless, you know.
Yeah. And it's also like, you know, it's one thing when you're kind of doing it based off like another TV show or another movie and those kind of characters. When you're doing it off of a video game as well, it's like you're seeing their movements, you're seeing everything they can do in the game.
Right.
And it's
They
like
can jump so far. So far, like
yeah.
oh. Yeah,
Like,
I
where's
hope I
that?
do her justice.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No, I have no doubt. But it's so funny. It's like, where's my power up button?
Right? Where's like who's controlling me? Who's got my controls? Let me jump higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I fly maybe?
Are you a video game? Do you enjoy video games? Is there a video game maybe that you're a fan of that you would like to see made into a movie like this?
That's a good question, but all the games that I play would be so boring as a movie.
I feel
like
that.
Minecraft and Sims and like Animal Crossing and
you
very,
had
like,
Animal
choose your
Crossing
own.
during the quarantine, didn't you? That was what it really
Yes.
was.
I played it as a kid on like, you know, the DS Lite.
Yep.
DS Switch or what not the Switch, the other one.
Yep.
And then it was kind of like a throwback.
Yeah.
I got it again when I got the Switch and everyone was playing it, you know, but I was like, all right, I'm a vet in this.
OG.
I've been around the block.
I feel that. It's like I remember the games I was playing on my DS. I was playing like Cooking Mama and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was what I was playing.
I like easy games where like it's not like high pace all the time, you know. It's more just like I can sit back and just like I'm gonna plant a tree here and
I had the Game Boy too.
nice. Yeah.
There we go.
Great.
So video games in itself have evolved way fast. Right? Oh
yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, Uncharted's like 10 years old.
I know. And it's very interesting that I wonder what like the push was to make it into like a movie, like what it was like, okay, we're gonna make it into the movie now. And even
I mean, I think it's just like age old. Like, and they're probably gonna vamp it up, but it's just one of those games that like never go.
Yeah, exactly. And filming it, I can only imagine, you know, we kind of spoke about how challenging that was, but I have to imagine there were such fun moments on that set. Do you have a favorite memory that sort of stands out to you? I know there's probably a ton, but
there
is something that sticks
out? I really enjoyed the very first stunt we ever did, which was I'm climbing like a urn, and Tom is like hoisting me up. And we were like strangers still, but he's like grabbing my butt and like pushing me up, you know, like like genuinely holding me up. I mean, I
Yeah.
had wires on, but they weren't really doing much. And we were just like bonded since then, you know. We had a really good time. It was the first time we were like joking around and stuff, and yeah, it was a very bonding experience.
Yeah.
That those sort of instances really stand out to me a lot.
Yeah. I also feel like it builds a trust right there when you're doing something like, especially when it's the first stunt. It's like
Right.
right there, you're done. Like that, like you said, kind of bonded. That's it.
I had to. And it was very like spring, like spur of the moment, sort of like sprung on us. We didn't know we were going to be doing it that day, which happens a lot. You know?
Yeah.
And I also learned that on this movie. Be prepared for anything. So we were both just like kind of nervous, and he had more experience in stunts than I did, so I was like referring to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I like that. And also, fans are beyond hyped. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that about the film. Is there something you're most excited for fans to see, whether that be a dynamic, like a relationship, friendship, or a stunt you did, or a scene that came out you felt really proud of, or anything like that?
I guess I just sort of want young women to feel empowered by Chloe. Yeah, that's like the most, you know, just to think like, oh, I'm badass, I can do whatever I want. Especially she's brown as well, you know, like because I am.
Latina, so I feel you right there.
Right.
You look on
Just
the
to see have like a colored woman too on the
Mm-hmm.
screen is so great.
Yeah. Especially being a badass rather than a side character, right?
Right, exactly. Or yeah, like a damsel. Yeah.
Oh, please. We have enough. We don't need any more. We're
No.
done.
Chloe does not need a man to save her. She's good.
The way it should be, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Do you kind of think of that when you're taking roles or when you're taking projects in the back of your head? Like,
No, I'm not like super picky on, because it's acting at the end of the
yeah,
day,
of
you know, I'm
course.
playing a character, but I do find that the roles I end up getting are more, and I don't know if I connect to them more, they're just strong, you know, they're like yeah, they're not very, I don't think I've ever played a character that's very like sort of,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, I need help. And maybe it's, yeah, maybe I'm connected to them more because I relate to it. You know, I'm pretty independent. But or maybe I just play them better. Maybe it's a challenge for me to play, you know, someone that's still climbing, that's still like going through that, finding yourself kind of thing.
Definitely. Well,
Characters that are strong in their convictions are definitely a lot more fun. I would say that. Yeah. I've never really thought about it, but yeah. The ones that don't really know what they're doing, like it gets old.
Yeah, they're much more fun to watch as a viewer as well. Like,
yeah,
like, and you spot it right away too. Like, obviously, I'm watching so many different things to like review them and stuff, and I'm like, the characters that aren't like that, like, yeah, it's great, obviously. And listen, I love an emotional performance. I love a complex female character, but I don't love the damsel in distress. I want the strength, the emotion, the complex, like all of that mixed in, kind of like we are human beings.
and emotion doesn't make you weak. Emotion can still be depicted as a strong reaction, you know, like in fact, a lot of times when someone can embrace their emotion in that vulnerable way, I think of it as strong, because not everyone can do that. It's easy to ignore them, you know.
Definitely. I love that. Thank you so much, Sophia. This was such a pleasure for me, and a huge congrats, obviously, again on Uncharted, The Wild season 2, and everything else you have coming.
Oh man, thank you, Sophia.
Stay safe and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.